What's happening?
Hey.
What do I have going on here? Oh, there we go.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Evening. All right, everybody out there in the chat, out in YouTube world. So, on your way in, make sure you hit that like and thumbs up or thumb down. Either way, as long as you're on here, it doesn't matter. We got Absentee in the house, Sax Man, and we've got Mr. Moose on here. So, we got 3 topics we're going to talk about. Of course, we're going to run off in the weeds like we always do. We left on good vibes on the last live. I thought it was a fun one. Had a good time. Kind of went way off in the weeds, but that's fine. That's what we do. So, anybody else out there, if y'all want to get on the live, y'all just holler at me. I'll drop the link, and then you can hop on here. The more the merrier. So, anyway, T, what's going on with you?
Well, just trying to keep up with all the current affairs. It's mind-numbing. But other than that, everything's pretty good in my end of the world currently. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. It's not raining today, so that's good.
That's a plus.
I'd like to go do some fishing, but all of the rivers are completely out of the banks.
Ooh.
Yeah. I can only imagine. Fishing.
What's going on with you there, Moose?
Oh, same old. Just sitting around getting fatter.
Well, I think we're all guilty of that one. Sax Man, you good tonight, buddy?
Oh, it was a beautiful day, bud. Went out on the back porch, hung out there for a little bit. Got found some Bluebell Dr. Pepper ice cream, and so life is good.
All right.
Heck yeah, looks like people's rolling in here.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
Let's give a couple shout outs. What's up, Hillbilly, Chica, and Highlander? Hope everything's good in y'all's part of the world. Anyway, you want to go through this in order, or do you just want to hit on random?
Brother, you at the helm, we're just riding. So you pick which turn you want to take.
Let's talk about old Tucker, because he's kind of fitting into my conspiracy theory, right? Like we said, it's a theory until it happens, right?
Yep.
So, I'm kind of new to this topic a little bit. T did enlighten me a little bit. So, those of you that are not aware, Fox pretty much dismantled his recording studio. Was it his private studio?
I'm not sure if it was his private or not. It was built in a barn, and I guess it was in Maine, if I'm reading this correctly. And after they shit canned him, they came in and took all the shit. They dismantled the entire studio.
Speculate, outside looking in, I would probably be safe to say that was something they probably set up for him COVID time, right? For remote shit, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
That makes sense.
And
that makes sense.
They just reclaimed their shit, right?
I guess in a roundabout sort of way, yeah. It's just that the optics look like shit.
Yeah, I really don't think Fox is too concerned about their optics.
No,
obviously not.
If they were, they would have kept him, right?
Well,
I think I would
have. He came out and said that, his studio was at his house and everything, and he owned all that stuff, except for a few things. So, he never said he had to. He said he went to New York like once, maybe a quarter, and did a show there. But he said 95% of the shows he did were at his house.
Okay.
So a lot of the Fox anchors do that kind of stuff.
Right. I mean, there's so much technology now; it really doesn't matter where you're at. I can make it look like we're in Nebraska right now. So
there you go.
But I'm sure they came and it was their stuff. They reclaimed it. Any of you's ever dealt with any type of technical stuff like that, it's expensive. Just a little bit of stuff I got going on here, you know, cameras, microphones, couple of screens. The CPU that's running all of this stuff is high output, right? So it can get pricey.
Mhm.
So when you see a YouTuber that's got a bunch of fancy stuff going on, they put in an investment. Now I could only imagine what Fox had there. I mean, they probably had some crazy high end stuff, but Tucker is rebuilding that, correct? Supposedly.
Well, here I'm gonna read you the statement. It makes you kind of wonder, okay? Because when Fox came in, they took everything from the equipment, the chairs, the desk, the fake walls. I mean, they stripped it, okay? So this is all coming from one of the Daily Mail people. Let me see his name real fast. A guy by the name of Feeney. And he said they've come in and they've cleaned everything up, making it look like something again. He said, but there's no imminent venture. Okay. For him to make that statement, it makes you wonder, okay, there's something in the works. They're just not wanting to release it. So if you're in there shoring up the place, you know, cleaning it up, making it look good again. I mean, what do you read into that? I mean, it's a barn. Okay.
Well, the thing is, Tucker Carlson, does he have his own? He's probably got his own YouTube channel, right?
I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel or not. I know he's on everything else.
Let me see.
He might, if he hadn't been banned.
I'll try to see if he does. Because if he does, I mean, it won't take. I don't know. He'll be an overnight sensation if he fires up his own channel, right? He'll have millions of followers. So he can make his money right there. Just continue what he's doing and kind of start his own channel, right? I mean, who needs Fox as a brand? He's already famous.
Yeah. But see, I think the problem with this is, didn't Fox slap him with a non-competition clause or something?
Yes. And that's
So
what he's suing Fox right now.
Yeah.
For, decimation and some other things.
So he's like this. Now, if he gets that thrown out, yeah, Fox is screwed hard.
Well, I don't know how they could make that stick because, I mean, it's freedom of speech. If he's not defaming them or anything like that, then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand, but I don't know what his contract entailed or when they shit canned him or any of that stuff. I don't know how it's written, but there is a non-compete clause in his whatever agreement with them. And apparently this binding, that's why he hasn't struck out nothing yet. If you think about it, he hasn't done anything. And normally, I mean, look at like Dan Bongino. I mean, he hit the ground running when he left him. But
okay, so I'm looking into it now. He can't do anything until 2025.
okay.
So what I'm guessing is they bought out his contract, right? And this is, like I said, this is all speculation, everybody. So they probably had to buy out his contract, pay him all the way until the end of his contract. And that's probably one of the stipulations that's in there.
Well, it may be, but you noticed that strategically it's perfect.
Now, there is a decimation suit that because of the leaks that came out and all that with those videos, Tucker's lawyer sent a letter to Fox saying, y'all knock this off or you're going to be looking at a decimation suit. And I do believe they did file a decimation suit against it. And if he wins that, then I think he's free of the contract because it said in the contract that Fox couldn't defame him or either. It was kind of a two-way street.
All right, now what I'm seeing here, and this is on CNBC, right? It's saying Tucker Carlson is to host a Twitter show after being fired from Fox. Now, this was May 9th, so that's pretty recent, right?
Yeah, and that's something that I saw somebody was losing their shit over that, and they were talking about Elon Musk because Elon's kind of talking with Tucker about doing this thing on Twitter, and it's like it's kind of brilliant if you think about it, you know. And I guess because it's not TV and it's like a webcast or whatever, maybe that doesn't violate the terms. The thing I'm noticing here, Vanguard, is, you know, if he can't come back until January of 2025, they've strategically set this up where he's not able to speak during any of the presidential run. They've virtually silenced him, and he's a major opponent of the DNC. I mean, look, you've silenced one of the loudest voices the conservatives had.
Yeah, I mean, he's straight up right wing, and he didn't make any bones about it.
Right. So that's really something to think about. Because I was just looking at that when, you know, you were saying he couldn't come back to 2025, and I go, whoa, wait a minute. And sure as shit.
Well, it's saying that if he does, you know, breach that agreement with them, it could be a $1 billion. He'd be liable for $1 billion in fees, right?
Right.
So if he's going to Twitter, what would be badass? You know, opinion. What would be badass is if, you know, one of the richest men in the world that happens to own Twitter says, you know what, fuck it, I'll pay the $1 billion. Let's go. I mean, he'll make his money back. Elon will make his money back if Tucker Carlson is on Twitter doing a damn show.
Elon doesn't do stupid shit at all. I agree.
Now, here's the thing. Elon just hired that fucking liberal fucktard, right?
Mm-hmm.
The CEO. So I'm actually surprised that they're even talking about or setting up an agreement for him to be on there, to be honest with you.
Well,
you got to understand too. I mean, as much as we like Elon, he's not. Don't think he's a conservative. He just likes free speech. Partly because, you know, people tried to dog him as well. So.
All right, so Tucker Carlson his contract with Fox News was $20 million a year.
Nice.
That's crazy. Oof. I mean, he ain't hurting for no change, you know?
No, he's not. But I mean, it just seems to me, it seems peculiar that his contract ends after an election. I mean, the timing just seems very bizarre.
And he's a political analyst.
Just saying, there's something's that seems. And here's the thing. And I know I'm going off in the weeds here a little bit, but this whole thing about why they shit canned him over this Dominion voting system. How did Dominion win anything? And I'm not trying to get us flagged.
No. Look, in a lawsuit, if it's for any defamation or whatever the case may be, right? All they have to do is prove one instance of a false claim. One. They don't have to prove all of them. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So if he messed around and said that, you know, a Dominion machine was shipped via FedEx on Saturday, you know, February 29th. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a false statement. So that's all it takes for them to win the case. And that's the way that kind of rolls.
What's crazy is you can go back and look at video of really high-ranking Democrats saying the exact same thing about voting machines.
Oh, yeah. But they can say it.
Yeah, they can say it.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're allowed to do that when you're high-ranked officials, you know, inside trader.
Right.
Things like that. That's illegal for us. We've said it a million times. Rules for thee, not for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I'm really getting tired of trying to figure out what rules I can and can't follow and all that. So, if someone could make a list for me, it'd be a lot easier.
Well,
If it's bad for you, then it's probably meant for you.
Okay, so like Copenhagen and guns and things like that were meant for me.
No, I'm saying if it's something you don't agree with, it's morally wrong, corrupted the space, or it does harm to your character, XYZ, or your beliefs, then that's what you should be following. Those are the rules for you. That's what I mean.
You got to get the crayon out, man. I'm really confused here. So you're saying basically if I don't agree with it, that's what I should be following?
Pretty much. If it's something that goes against your moral fiber, then those are the rules you should be following.
All right, go ahead and lock me up because yeah, I can't do that.
Well, I'm just trying to simplify it for you there, brother.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. So I guess I just need to go ahead and lock myself into jail now. It'd just be a lot simpler, I think, and a lot less stress on a lot of people if I just went ahead and did that.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry, I just can't get on board with a lot of that crap.
Well, I don't think any of us can, but unfortunately.
Hey, Sax, man, you want to be my cellmate?
Hey, Sally.
I don't snore, and
I do.
Okay, well,
He does. I can vouch.
Yeah, see, I was going to say that. T knows.
Yep, he does.
well, I mean, I might have told a little bit of a lie there, but yeah. Anyway, I don't snore, and I'm really clean freak, and all that, and so yeah, I think we'd be a good cellmate.
Yeah. Only if we can do it like Mayberry and I can walk myself out too.
Yeah, we'll be like Otis.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Patriot Nation. Will not comply.
No.
I may not win, but there's going to be a lot of my family talking about me for years to come.
That's right. It will be epic.
Yes, it will. Absolutely. Well, we'll wait and see what's going on with Tucker. I'm just curious. I think this was an attempt to silence him. I truly do. I think with the new direction that Fox is running, they're the new Communist News Network. He was a thorn in their side for the direction they wanted to move. And by shit canning him, it guarantees that, they shut down one of the biggest voices for the right side of the country, So I think there was more nefarious motives behind it. I mean, the timing just sucks. Because think about it, they've eliminated him being able to talk about anything from this point up through the election.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get it overturned.
It's a shame. The past, during the Trump years and unfortunately during this Biden fiasco,
Mm-hmm.
I find myself thinking, God, I wish Rush was still on. I wish he was alive, but I wish Rush was still on because it's just endless fodder,
Yeah.
And you'd have one more voice out there.
Mm-hmm.
A big voice at that.
Yeah, I miss Rush. So each one to about him, but I miss Rush. I think he was. I don't think he was a shock jock or bullshitter. I think he told you how he felt.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, there was some entertainment mixed in there.
Sure.
You know, and all the bombastic stuff. Yeah, you know, it's not like you had to take it with a grain of salt. That was part of the you know, the spiel. But yeah, it was. If you really wanted to know political insider stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that was the place to get it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you just cut through the bullshit and here's what this means.
I'll tell you another political person I really missed that used to be on the radio, and that was Herman Cain.
Yeah. I like Herman Cain.
Herman Cain was awesome. And he was down to earth. You know?
Yeah, I liked him.
He was. I actually voted for him when he ran for Congress.
Herman Cain.
Yep. That's it. You're either jumping on the wagon or get out of the way.
That's
One
right.
of them. He was great. All right, well, Vanguard brother, where you want to hit next? We got so many good things to go with.
Well, let's look at what Patriot Nation just said.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think he has some typo. By the way, I think that says if they did pass the pistol brace law, rather than paying to register all of it, buy a barrel that's 16 inches. Problem solved. An inch doesn't make that much of a difference.
I don't think they. The problem is I don't think they passed the law. I think it's ATF. You know, mandate.
Right. It's not a law. It's an ATF ruling or whatever.
So what's the update on that?
Well, here's what I read. Remember the other night when I said, "Oh wait, look, there's actually some breaking news." Yes, the one court, and it did do an injunction, but the problem with the injunction is it doesn't affect the whole country. It only affects who's under the Fifth Circuit. So I think it might be Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. I don't know who else, but it's only a little pocket. So while they have the injunction, now that's the way I'm reading it. I'm not a lawyer, but the way I understood it is, and Highlander's correct, there's an ATF ruling we're talking about, but the way I read it is that unless every other court did the same thing, come June 1, if you've got a pistol brace in your possession and you have a short-barreled AR pistol in your possession, you are a felon. Period. Okay? If you were the ones that wanted to try and register it with ATF and get you a tax stamp and all that, for whatever reason, if you hadn't got your tax stamp by that time, what I want you to understand is when you sent that paperwork in, you were admitting to the ATF that you were a felon. You had knowingly constructed what they now deem a Class 3 weapon without paperwork. So if they don't approve your tax stamp, they've got your address. Now, will they do anything? Who fucking knows with this outfit? Could they do something? Sure, because they're a bunch of brown shirt fucktards. I'm not going to tell you what to do. All of you are grown adults that have these weapons. All of you, I would assume, have more than 30 IQ points, so you can probably figure it out on yourself. I mean, on your own. You either A, lost in a boating accident, B, you pissed yourself and decided to destroy it. C, you pissed yourself, was too much of a chicken shit to destroy it, took it to your nearest ATF office and said, take this evil thing from me. It's going to kill someone.
Don't make fun of me for what I did.
Or D, you could just say, I don't want to talk about it. I don't have one. Or E, you know, you could take it apart, do what you're going to do with it. Don't keep it in the same domicile with the short-barreled pistol, so you're no longer in possession of a part, which is what they're saying makes you a felon also. If you have a Class 3 weapon, that's fine, but you can't assemble said Class 3 weapon or have all the parts together to assemble said Class 3 weapon until you have the tax stamp. Now, where Patriot Nation is saying you could replace the barrel for less, yes, you could. I agree, you could, but for somebody to replace a barrel of a weapon, they're going to have to be familiar with it enough to do it. And some people, they're not inclined, or they've never done it. The thing I'm trying to say right now is if you've got possession of a stock or a brace per se, and you've got a short barreled AR pistol, then in the eyes of the ATF, you are now a felon and you're breaking federal law because you have both of those things in your possession and you do not have the tax stamp to make it legal for you to have them to put them together. That's where they're going to get you. So, all right, Patriot Nation, we go ahead and PM us your mailing address. We'll get you hooked up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to confuse people, make it more, this is all some bullshit because the ATF can't do laws. They can make
right.
rules.
They can do rulings all day, every day. But
yeah.
So when and is this going in effect?
Yeah.
May 31st.
31st.
Yeah.
And that's for states that are in the fifth circuit, right?
No, that's for states that are not in the Fifth Circuit.
States that are not.
Right, which is like 46 of them. So, I may be wrong. It may be a few more, but I'm saying it's going to be the majority of the country come May 31st. Time to grab your ankles.
Yeah. So 16 inches, everybody that's not aware of that, is the cutoff. So
yep.
16 inches, you're good. 1 millimeter less than that, you're not.
Yep.
So, and I mean, Patriot Nation's right. Rather than me personally, rather than me contacting them and saying, hey, I've got this, I want to get a tax stamp for it, and openly telling them that I'm a felon now, right? I would be doing a barrel replacement myself. I have to agree with him on that. That does take out all gray area, right? Plus, who the hell wants to sit around and wait on some fucking overreach entity to show up at your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And haul your ass off.
Yep. Because you don't get to pick the time or the place.
No.
I mean, understand that. And
look,
they're going to use excessive force.
Some of y'all may be with me and all that stuff. I'm not against pistol style rifles, right? Pistol style ARs, but I'm a range shooter, right? So I kind of deter away from shortening a barrel as much as possible and still be effective. Now, I get the point that Patriot Nation's making. A 15-inch barrel is not going to give you really any advantage over a 16-inch barrel. Just saying.
No.
I mean, if you really think about it, 1 inch is not a lot.
No.
Nope. Sax man, keep it in.
Always got to be in the damn gutter. Listen
sorry.
at you.
Sorry.
Just damn.
He said.
Right, but we talked about compensators and all that, a couple lives ago, right? And I've seen people put short ass barrels on there and then add like a damn 4-inch compensator on the end of it. Why? You just defeated the whole purpose of what your goal was.
Yeah, exactly. It's like somebody running with a PS90 with a legal barrel on it. It's like, it looks retarded, and just put.
Here's the thing. If anybody worth their salt with an AR can turn their sling into a brace, okay, into some form of controlling device. Y'all take what I just said and research a little bit, and you'll figure out what I'm talking about. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So the problem with it is it's overreach. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Second Amendment should not be toyed with whatsoever. So I'm 100% behind that. I don't like it. Matter of fact, I believe that we should be able to free travel and do whatever the fuck we want to within the confines of the law, as long as we're not an endangerment to ourselves or anybody else. Right? That's the big thing. Now, after they enforce this, let me tell you who's going to have all these pistols with pistol braces. The criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Because a law-abiding person I'm kind of with Patriot Nation. He's giving everybody an out on the situation, right? On a way to effectively still be efficient and be within the confines of the ruling that's set into place. And I have to agree with him too. It's not a law. Correct. It's not a law, but understand this. Your ass can go to jail regardless.
Yep. They're going to enforce it. They're looking to enforce it.
So when the ATF shows up at your door and you say, well, that's not a law, they don't give a shit. I mean, I'm just saying. It's just like a search warrant, right? If somebody's got a warrant for you, or they don't have a warrant, and they come to your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you happen to stick your arm outside that door and they snatch your ass out of it, guess what? They didn't need a warrant for that. You with me?
Right.
There's a gray area. You don't breach that door, then there's no need for a warrant. So I'm just telling you that it's fucked up. That's the best thing I can say is law enforcement, and I'm a supporter of local law enforcement. Okay. Now, I know they're saying that the sheriffs are not going to enforce this. A lot of places are saying the sheriffs are not going to enforce it. And a lot of people say, well, contact your sheriff. They do not have to notify the sheriff that they're in their backyard. You are aware of that, correct? Y'all with me?
I'm with you.
That would be like a Georgia State Patrol, right? Every county they go through, if somebody comes by them speeding, they would have to call the sheriff to get approval to write a ticket before they did it. So people's got a misconception that the sheriff is the complete ruler of a county. That's not the case if a government entity comes in. And the ATF, man, they'll use everything they can at their disposal, I promise you.
Right. They're a corrupt government agency, just like the IRS.
So, and I mean, it pisses me off, everybody. I promise you, it's annoying. Nobody will ever be able to doubt that I'm a gun enthusiast. T knows, Saxman knows, they know. Okay. I love my guns. I completely support 2A.
Yep.
I use them recreational as well as for protection. That's it. I'm not I'm not holding up a 7-Eleven or anything like that with it. I'm a law-abiding citizen. So all you're doing is disadvantaging the people that are going to follow the rules. That's it. Now, they talk about ghost guns all the time.
Oh,
Ghost
hell.
guns, Biden, the ghost gun. The motherfucker, the one that's got a ghost gun is the one that's got a rap sheet that they can't go and fucking buy one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, they don't like ghost guns. The only reason they don't like them is because people can make them and they can't find them. They can't track them. It's all about government overreach and them wanting to know where everything is. So when the time comes, they want to come and take them from you. They can't.
Yeah, well, you can't track the one that somebody bought in a fucking McDonald's parking lot either.
Well, no, you can't. But I'm saying
serial numbers are not.
True, but we're not talking. They're not concerned with ghost guns for criminal activity. They'll claim they are, but that has nothing to do with it. They're concerned about people like us that have access to ghost guns, or 80% is the more educated refer to them, and it's a hobby. Okay, they don't like the fact that somebody can go and mail order an 80% receiver for $50, buy a jig, sit in their house with rudimentary skills, and mill a damn receiver.
Or a 3D printer.
Or what?
A 3D printer.
Well, yeah, you can do a 3D printer too, but I would go with 3D printer takes a lot more knowledge than a jig and a router.
And you got to download all the shit to do that.
Yeah, there's a trail if you do that. I don't like doing anything on the internet as it is, but if you're downloading files, who's to say that they haven't got some hack on the server you're ordering them from? They're just tracking everybody's getting the damn file. Putting you in queue to damn have a bunch of brown shirts show up at your house.
You hear that shit again.
Yep. So, but that's what it all goes down to. It's they don't like regular Americans, U.S., tax-paying, God-fearing Americans to have access to something that they don't control. They just can't have that shit. And so they cannot stand that we can create our own firearms, which started out as a hobby, and then it kind of took off because people said, you know what, fuck the government. And it got popular because of the government overreach that is so unchecked now. And, tough shit.
My dad was telling me when he was a kid, when he was 17, 18 years old, you could go into like a Pasco, for example, and buy a cap and ball style pistol or rifle, muzzleloader, and put it together at your house.
Yeah.
Paint it, all that.
Well, see, that's a little different, like your flintlocks, anything like that, which is not considered, automatic or could be of that sort, right?
Yeah.
One shot, and then you have to reload the whole thing. So a felon can actually have one of those. Did y'all know that?
Yep.
I can believe that.
Yeah, they can. They can have a cap and ball pistol or
a bow and arrow.
Flintlock rifle. They can have all that. And a bow and arrow, crossbow, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
So, there it is. I'm not condoning anybody that's watching this channel or whatever your personal life is, whatever. If you want to go get you a damn flintlock, go ahead. I've shot them. They're shitty. Just throwing that out there. There's a reason they evolved. I knew Jay was going to come out with that one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
up tonight.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I know everybody's frustrated with it, but it's here. It's coming. The 31st is here.
Yeah, it is. I was hoping that injunction would be a reprieve for everyone, but only for those 3 states.
What are the states again?
Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
Thank you, Lord.
And it's only and here's the thing, if the brown shirts from the ATF go back and they appeal it and they satisfy the judge, then it goes into effect. Because I think the injunction was just for clarity on something. You have to go back and research it because I know the. Let me see.
I'm just, I'm trying to wrap my head around how many people on the 31st are going to fucking contact these people for a tax stamp of $200, right?
They made $1 short.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just, hey, I'm telling on myself over here.
Yeah. Those are the same people that, you know, every time there's a gun buyback, I hate that word. There's a gun buy. Those are the same people that are out there in front of the police station, you know, dropping off their weapons.
Speaking of gun buybacks, did y'all see what Comrade Trudeau's doing?
No telling.
Mm-mm.
He's trying to implement a nationwide gun buyback.
What are they? They're giving like $100 vouchers for these things, ain't they?
Fuck, I don't know. I mean, it could be a case of Molson and, you know, some cigarettes. I don't know.
All I know is the guy that 3D printed all those fake ones and took them in there is a fucking legend.
Hey, you know what? When in Rome, right?
I mean,
I
damn.
imagine in Canada you could probably draw a picture of one, take it to the police station, they'd buy it.
Oh, you got one to trade in, eh?
Oh shit, eh? Don't let that go off.
Glad you brought the twos, eh?
Voucher and some maple syrup.
Hold on, eh? I'll give you some money, eh?
Ready, poser.
Sounds good to me, eh?
Nuts. Well, I mean, you know, the pistol brace thing, the bad thing about it is there's so many people out there that aren't, I mean, yeah, they've got one because they bought it because it was cool, or they got it for defense, truck gun, whatever reason they got one, okay? And they're not aware of the gravity because they're not paying attention to any of this shit. So they're going to be the ones that are riding down the road one day and get pulled over in a damn traffic stop, or go rolling up to the range with their kids to, you know, just plink or whatever. And they're going to be the ones that get jammed up behind this shit because they're ignorant of it, you know? So that's what sucks. And maybe sometime in June, one of these other lawsuits will stick, or the Supreme Court will hear it and say, "Whoa, wait a minute, this is jacked up." But then again, you got to get people to them adhere to the Supreme Court. I mean, this current regime we got only follows what the Supreme Court says when it fits their narrative. What kind of bullshit is that?
So let's clarify to everybody what a pistol brace is. What's your take on it, T? I know what the definition is. You know, they consider it, you know, as a Velcro piece to allow the weapon to be fired with one handed, right?
Right. It's to secure it on your forearm to
Right.
help you stabilize it, basically. When I think of a brace, not even necessarily that part, I think of the fact it doesn't have a hard surface that's flat on the end, where at the end of the buffer tube. So when you go to if you were to shoulder fire it, you don't have a solid surface to rest against your shoulder. That's what I think of when I think of a pistol brace. Now, some of the braces you can shoulder fire them rather comfortably. I know the SB Tactical ones you can. It's rubber. It's not solid, but it will work. The fin ones, I call them shark fins. I don't know what their actual terminology is for them. You can fire from those as well, but they're just uncomfortable because of the way they're cut and they're rigid. But when I think of a pistol brace, that's what I think of. It's, to look at looking from the side, a pistol brace and a buttstock look very similar. But to look at the back end of them, the part that rests against your shoulder, you can immediately see a dramatic difference. Like at one time they were making inserts you could get, and I know I'm going off on a tangent here and I apologize. You could buy an insert that went into your brace, like the SB Tactical braces. It was a solid insert. And if you did that, it turned into a stock. Anybody ever seen those?
I heard about them. Never seen one.
Yeah, your ass would get locked up if you got caught with one and you didn't have a class, permit for it. Basically, it's a tax stamp on the weapon because it immediately turned the weapon into an SBR because you made it into a stock instead of a brace. So, again, that reinforces my whole comment about being solid.
Right. And I'm wondering if they're going to clarify that.
No. Why should they? They want the public confused. That works in their favor. I mean, if I remember correctly, the Fifth Circuit, the injunction, let me see. I think the big thing is that they're saying it's going to make millions of Americans felons overnight for an unclear ruling that's not even a law. That's the way I'm reading it. And I think the whole point is that they're saying it needs to be clarified, the definitions and whatnot, before it. I guess they need to do that in the appeal, maybe, or they need to appeal that decision. It's insane, And if you remember, the Fed, the ATF, they've changed their ruling on shoulder firing from pistol with a pistol brace 2 or 3 times because they couldn't make their damn mind up. Anybody remember that?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, it's the same old shit. And, playing a devil's advocate here, I understand why the pistol brace was made. It was made to, stabilize the weapon so you could fire it one-handed. But it was quickly looked at as a workaround in the firearms community for an SBR.
Actually, it was for disabled people to make it easier for them.
Correct. You're absolutely right. I'm not arguing that. But what happened is it became so popular because it was a simple workaround for a SBR. If you're willing to forego having a solid buttstock as opposed to a rubberized or stiff, rigid, brace type device to shoulder fire from. And it is what it is. Whichever side you fall on them. I'm with Vanguard. They should not be infringing on any Second Amendment rights. It's overreach. All this is. It should not. The NFA shouldn't exist. But it was allowed to. And you know how the government is. Once they implement something that generates money, good luck getting rid of it.
It will never go away.
Well, there's two things. One is the money, and two, if you don't exercise your rights, the government thinks you don't want them to take them away.
Well, even if you exercise them, they'll still take them away if it doesn't fit what they want to do to you.
If you don't have enough people exercising, if not everybody's exercising those rights, they think you don't want them, take them away.
Man. The problem is the government lost sight of what their job is, to serve the people, not the people to serve their whim. Serve at their will, rather. So I think that's where I've got my issue.
Yeah, it is interesting to see the correlation between what revolutionaries fought for a couple of 100 years ago and what we've allowed in the past. Well, yeah, the past since 1915 on 1917. Yeah. It's amazing the amount of freedom that the American people decided that they don't want.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing you got to think of too is, I always think back, if George Washington walked to my door right now, knocked on it, the first thing he'd ask is, "What the fuck is wrong with y'all?"
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well,
So we were stacking bodies over, tax stamps and unrepresentation.
Yeah.
And y'all have just taken it right in the butt.
Yeah, pissed it all away. All our hard work, and you pissed it away.
Ben Franklin, right after they got finished with the Constitutional Convention and everything, he was walking out of the building, and I can't remember if it was a news reporter or who walked up to him and asked, "So what kind of government do we have? Monarch or, what?" And he said, "We have a constitutional republic if you can keep it."
Yep, that's right. Well,
so just something to think about. The man just got finished, they just finished writing our Constitution, and somebody asked him that question. He said, "It's a constitutional republic if you can keep it."
Well, you think about, the thing about constitutional republics, anything that we've set up even in Canada here, this is a form of government that really relies on Western, what used to be, Western attitudes toward religion, stuff like that, which is why you see, whenever the U.S. has tried to do nation building and make it just doesn't work other places.
Yep.
But that's going away too.
A lot of the other places don't want it, so
Well, yeah, they don't want it because they don't hold to our culture. They're still. That's why they're, as was famously pointed out, they're third world shitholes, and they don't want to. They don't want to not be that. Every little every little guy they call colonel wants to be the president. So.
Yep. Well, we successfully talked about Tucker and pistol braces and ATF. We've done good tonight. We stayed on point for the most part.
Yeah.
All right. What about budgets?
Budgets? Well, I think they're good if you can stay in them.
I think the federal government should be held to the same accountability we are. If we can't pay our bills, then we go earn more money to pay the bills. We don't go into debt doing it.
You mean go print more money?
No, if you if you make $100,000 a year and you can't pay for your house, your cars, your kids' education, etc., you got one or two options. Well, you got three. You got one, you find a way to earn more money. Two, you find a way to cut spending. Or three, you change your. Really, it's the only one or the other. That's it. That's your only options.
Well, you could sell some things also.
You could, but that's a band-aid. That's a temporary fix.
Right. Just like printing more money.
Well, no, printing more money is a different beast. I'm talking about what you can do as an individual. The government should have to follow the same guidelines a working class American has to follow. They're no different. They've put themselves up on a pedestal as if they are, but they're not. Their wealth and fortune comes from the backs of the American people and the taxpayers.
Yeah, the government produces nothing.
No, they produce things. It's just nothing that's viable.
Yeah.
So I'm saying they should have to exist within the same parameters as all of us do. That's my argument.
I agree with you on that. But it seems that when the government gets in a bind, they're like, oh, we'll just print more money and then, pay the debt with that.
Yeah, or we'll put a $200 fucking tax bill out, a tax stamp.
Or if the person doesn't pay it, they become a felon. Yeah.
Well, then, and even then, that depends on what political party you're.
Well, I identify as a liberal from California, so that's and my pronouns are fuck off. Yeah, you like my pronouns, don't you?
I've never been a big fan of pronouns. You got to do what you got to do, though.
Hey, man, trying to get in this new age, so I stay out of the jails and things like that for saying things in public that might offend someone or,
Well, I don't give a fuck if I offend somebody.
telling Vanguard's kid, hey, you need to cut that purple hair and, things like that.
Shit. Gray hair.
Oh, that's what kids are for, man. Give you that gray hair, make you feel older than you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, where the fuck did all the time go?
All right.
Speaking of which, does anybody want a 14-year-old?
Anybody what?
Want a 14-year-old?
Bruh. No, I've raised 2 teenagers. I don't want to raise them more.
I mean, he's a good kid coming up on college. He needs a good home to help pay for that college and everything else.
No, I appreciate the offer, but I'm already 3 deep on the bench with all of them here.
Well, if you change your mind, let me know. Okay.
I'll do it. I will do it. Absolutely. Well, I mean, Vanguard, do you think they're going to sit there and they're going, what in the world?
Shut the government down?
Well, so, yeah, they can shut the government down. It's been done before. What will happen more than likely is what always happens is, even though the Republicans have put out, spending cuts and stuff like that instead of tax increases, they will cave because of the optics of it, because of who's in power right now. And, everybody will get their government checks and life will go on after that.
Yeah, at a very, very great expense for the taxpayer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean we will always be the losers in this deal.
Well, it's because they have no skin in the game. The only people see they dangle all of us as cannon fodder, and it'll be their ass getting dangled. We ought to have them raked across the coals saying, "What the fuck you mean you haven't got money, or you can't afford to finance this, that, or the other? What the fuck did we vote for you for?
Here's an idea. Stop
Why
sending
did they
fucking
take
money
tax?
to a country that's a lost fucking cause.
There you go.
Oh yeah, or countries that hate us, like John Kennedy said, they can hate us for free.
Yeah, exactly. You don't like our way of life? Cool. We don't have to send you no more fucking aid.
Nope, you can chew gravel instead of wheat. You know,
Yeah,
doesn't bother me at all.
Mhm. See how fucking crude oil works as fertilizer.
Right?
Speaking of fertilizer, did y'all hear about the fertilizer that disappeared off of a train?
Yeah, that's some bad shit. That was a lot of damn fertilizer.
60 tons of it.
Wow.
That's a lot. You could fuck up a lot of stuff with 60 tons of fertilizer.
Ammonium nitrate, 60 tons of it come up missing off of a train. I'm sitting there trying going, how does that happen? Mysteriously. You know, this isn't, 2,000 pounds or a truckload. This was a trainload of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That wasn't an accident, unless because here's the thing. Because that stuff is in a box car, or is it in one of those grain cars?
I don't know. I know it was, from what I read, it was in like pelletized form. And I was like, oh, brother.
Well, my thinking is that, and Jay brings up a good point. Let's all put on our little conspiracy hats from our tinfoil hats. Everybody get them out. Spray them with Lysol, slap on your head for a minute. Like Jay was saying, what false flag is that going to be involved in? That would not be beyond the federal government.
Oklahoma City. Pardon me.
I mean, Oklahoma City bombing, if I'm not mistaken, that was only 2,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate and some other chemicals.
Yeah.
Diesel. Yeah.
Yeah. And look what it did.
Yeah, I still got questions about that, though.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But that was a lot of shit that disappeared. I mean, and that's.
What's kind of me is mainstream media isn't even talking about it.
Nope, because they're too busy talking about pronouns and Bud Light and whatever nonsense and The View and just anything is absolutely stupid and waste brain cells. That's all they're gonna cover. They want to keep American people as dumb as they fucking possibly can.
And they're doing a darn good job of it.
Well, yeah, but I'm sorry to say this, but I blame that on the last generation that procreated. They dropped the fucking ball.
Right.
I'm just gonna call it like it is.
I didn't cause this mess.
I didn't say you did. I said the last generation procreated. Now, if you're in that last generation, then you're an outlier. But I somehow don't think you are. I think there's a generation after you.
Yeah.
They were in the backseat of the Prius. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. My parents were probably in a Chevelle or something like that, or at least I like to think that were. But
Love, love gets what it wants, right?
Yep.
So, but yeah, Jay brings up a good point, even though it was kind of half joking. I mean, it would be ideal for, it to be used for a false flag operation or multiple false flag operations. Or if you want to go further than that, and let's, keep the tinfoil hats on. Who's to say that a bunch of a cell didn't snatch it up? We're already in place, working in the railroad or in some kind of logistical outfit. procured the stuff and is going to utilize it in some kind of guerrilla warfare or whatever if something pops off.
If I'm not mistaken, it was taken. It was where was it? Like Arizona or somewhere out west.
Who's to say it was ever on the train?
That's another angle.
True.
Happens all the time. It happens all the time in the merchants arena.
But doesn't, you correct me if I'm wrong here, Vanguard, but don't they have to track that shit?
Yep.
Supposed to. I mean, there's a lot of things that travel, and we've talked about this before, when they were talking about shutting down the train, the railways and all. There's a lot of stuff that travels via railroad.
Yeah.
All right. But it's also very easy to throw together a manifest, right? That's missing items. It happens all the time.
But 60 tons?
Yeah. They'd have to explain to me how somebody was able to take 60 tons. I mean, we're talking, and if I'm correct, it's not transported in a palletized situation. I think it's in a hopper tank.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, a grain car.
Right. So I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't picture 5 guys out there with a shovel getting this shit off the ground. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Shovel it in the back of a Chevy Love. Yeah.
Come on, Cletus.
I mean, y'all know, you know what I'm saying, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
No, I'm with you. I don't think it was palletized or bagged or whatever. I think it was in a grain car or hopper, like you said, and that would require a lot more. Either it's just utter incompetence, or a very well orchestrated
Hijacking?
procurement.
I mean,
Because that would mean that if it was procured that way, that means somebody had to have access to a train yard, be able to move that shit around.
So
how'd they get it off there, loaded out of their truck?
did they say it was ammonium nitrate?
Yep.
Liquid? Or they didn't say?
No, it said pelletized from what I read.
So it was pellet.
Yes. From what I read. Now, I don't know how accurate that article was, but
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, it's 30 tons. That's what was
Cheyenne, Wyoming.
yeah.
It left Cheyenne, Wyoming,
To
Yeah,
California.
and went to California
60,000 pounds.
in pellet form in a covered hopper car.
Yeah,
Well,
so it was not palletized, it was not bagged. So somebody's got to explain to me it was a hopper. So yeah, somebody's got to explain to me how in the hell they shoveled that out of there.
The car is missing. The whole fucking car is gone.
Wait, what?
I don't think it's missing out of the car. I think the car is missing.
Okay, somebody really got to explain that to me.
I mean, let me make sure.
So
But
the one I'm
well, they went.
The
down
one I'm
the
reading
train
here
yard,
says
got
the-
hooked up to the car, and then went and turned left, off the tracks, and then
Was it removed from the car? Is that what I'm?
So what I'm reading right now is the initial assessment is that a leak through the bottom gate on the rail car may have developed in transit, according to the company, releasing pellets onto the tracks over a 2-week trip.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of pellets.
I still call bullshit because those hoppers are normally split gate in the middle with 2 dumps. So yeah, I don't know.
That might be Union Pacific just trying to cover their ass.
yeah, that's exactly.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna cover their ass on this thing.
Yeah. So can any of y'all say insurance claim?
Well, I mean, what I'd like to know is, where's Merrick Garland? I mean, according to Bedshitter Joe, the biggest threat to the country is white supremacy. Well, I guarantee you that 60,000 pounds or tons or whatever of that shit is a lot more dangerous than any white supremacist group in the damn country.
5,000 pounds of that shit's, more dangerous than it. But
True, but I'm trying to go for the entire package here. You don't want to talk about this, just like you want to talk about all the damn trains derailing and all this other bullshit, which I also have my own suspicions about. But boy, if you mess around and try to stop having, transgender drag shows at kindergarten schools, and you get mad because somebody's got damn rainbow underoos for sale in the damn kids section or whatever, you're a damn enemy of the state.
have y'all seen the video of the transgender person saying that they're going to go and use a female bathroom and they carry a gun on them, and if you try to stop them, they're going to go to work?
No.
I think I heard something about that.
It was pretty interesting, and somebody asked me, I said, well, what would happen there? I said, we'd be some shot up motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So, and I'm Jen Psaki in this bitch. So, ammonium nitrate pellets. The value of it is $600 per ton. Okay, and we're talking 30,000 tons, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
$18 million. Let that sink in. $18 million.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could just have gotten stolen. I mean, I would think the easiest way to find out if that shit leaked over 20 days or however long the shit was just wandering around the damn tracks. Start going and checking the tracks, see if you can find any of it. But I don't think that's what happened.
Well, if it did leak on the tracks, they're going to have one hell of a cleanup crew going. Do you know what fertilizer does to steel?
Right.
It's cancerous.
Shit up.
It'll completely dissolve it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's make light of the situation. I don't know, man. I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm a firm believer where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a shit ton of smoke right there.
Well, you go back in a year and see if we got grass growing on the tracks like crazy.
I think it was stolen. I don't think it spilled out.
No, I don't think it spilled out either. I think somebody hijacked it and,
Well, I mean, think about it. If you had, let's say the train had to stop at a depot somewhere, had to pick up more box cars, whatever, it would be possible to transport it or transfer it. You might not be able to get all of it at once, but you could get, there's several ways you get it transferred. It just depends on how you want to do it. And it'd be easier to move it in smaller quantities than it would a boxcar. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
No, you didn't have a bunch of guys there with little raggedy ass shovels slinging in the Chevy Love. Okay, that's not what happened. But like Highlander's saying, you can have some gravel trucks and a blower. You can get that shit moved. I mean, think about it. You got some work being done there on a quote unquote, you're having something laid or repaired or shored up in a rail yard, who's the wiser? You see trucks over there doing this, that, and other. In a very short period of time, they can have that damn boxcar empty.
What's kind of scares me about it is, that's the base ingredient for what, Oklahoma City was. And, we got people coming across that border that, we don't know who the hell they are, what the hell they are. By now they have enough time, like you said, to have a couple of cells there. They went and hijacked that truck or that train. What are they going to do with it?
I'm sure that everybody's here, come across the border and everything. They're upstanding citizens, and they just want their Circle K, and they're good to go.
Free room and board in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And when you wake up, let me know.
Look, I'm just saying that's what we're supposed to think. I personally think if Bedshitter thinks it's so great to have a porous border, they all go right to his fucking place in Scranton and put him up a fucking tent city. Sounds like a damn good idea to me.
I think we ought to make a tent city right there on the White House lawn. But
I'm cool with that. I mean, if BLM can take over a block up there, why can't we let the illegals do it? I mean, the whole DC sucks anyways.
I mean, you got all that land up there in Martha's Vineyard, and,
Oh yeah, man. I think personally, y'all build a compound at Camp David and park a bunch of them there.
And then all these sanctuary cities that are trying to say they're not sanctuary cities now.
Oh, I think New York needs some.
They need more.
Yep.
They need more.
Absolutely. I think you need to send a bunch of them to Pelosi's neighborhood, and you see a bunch of them over to AOC's area. There's a bunch of people that, they're supposed to be big champions of them. I think they need to take a few of them in.
They should. They should offer, even open up their home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's exactly what they need.
Help them get up on their feet.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I agree. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. Well.
Well, hell, Moose is our guest tonight. So, Moose, you want to leave him with some words of wisdom there, brother?
All right. Well, last time I said don't squat with your spurs on. This time, this is a very important one, everybody. So write this down. Do not, under any circumstances, ever piss in the wind.
Words to live by.
Wish you'd told me that yesterday.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you tomorrow again. Remind you. I know how you are, Vanguard. You forget a few things.
Yeah, I forget a lot of shit.
You and T having those senior moments. T's gonna go get us some Depends and try them out. And tell us which ones work the best.
I ain't wearing Depends until they make them in multicam.
Come on now, they got the tuckable ones now.
Ooh, tuckable.
Oh, I ain't tucking shit.
Let my handy candy just hang in the wind.
Man, every time I even hear the phrase tuckable, I think about fucking Silence of the Lamb.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck.
He's going to touch me.
He puts the lotion on the skin.
Oh.
Or
All right.
the hose again.
Sigma male sax man, what's up, brother?
Let's see. What do we got tonight? Man, I don't know if I've ever said it before, but don't trust your government. Let's see. Again, as a side note, with the whole boycotting stuff, Target has lost a $9 billion would it be in the past couple of weeks over their whole wokeness thing. So keep on not buying your Tuckables from Target or your butt babies, and keep on trucking. Let's fight the good fight.
You know, I don't think I've only been in a Target store twice in my life, and it's probably been, my son 14. Last time I was in a Target store was before he was born. So
You haven't missed anything.
okay. Kind of not. It's not like the people at Walmart, is it?
People used to say it was a step up from Walmart, but it's like
It's a Walmart with a Starbucks in it.
no, it's not. It's like I'm trying to think of a good analogy to make people understand what a Target is like. It's like a Walgreens and help me out here, Sax man. A Walgreens and like
Yeah, strip club.
no, it's not that good. Like a Walgreens and a
Kmart?
yeah, that'll work. We'll say a Walgreens and Kmart got together and had a baby.
Yeah, because at least at Kmart you get
what
icy,
Target's like.
right?
Last time I
You
was
get
at
an iced tea
Kmart,
Target?
I was like 6, so I don't really remember.
No, not an iced tea. Icy.
Yeah,
Icy.
icy.
Yeah, icy.
Yeah, you still get ices.
Yeah. Y'all remember slush puppies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You still get them. You can buy them actually in Walmart. You can buy them.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get them for the grandkids.
Okay, Mark, you can get a damn icy, a blue raspberry icy, and a damn soft pretzel. $1.99.
Or one of the big ass bags of popcorn, dude. Man.
And a 13-day-old hot dog that's been in the fucking roller.
That's right. Crusty roller dogs.
It's like a giant ass Slim Jim.
Yeah, exactly. This is the greasiest damn Slim Jim ever, but
Jeez. I think Kmart was the only place that put pool chemicals right next to the fucking water supply. You go in and get you a
That's
damn
about right.
case of Dasani and 3 pounds of fucking chlorine off the same shelf.
right.
Yeah, their marketing people weren't real bright. Damn, if I don't bring back some memories.
Mhm.
All right, tell you what you got for me, buddy.
All right. Consider this what's the word I'm thinking of? Just a friendly reminder to all of you who live in an urban area or next to urban area. School's probably out or will be soon. Idle hands and idle minds are the devil's workshop. Be aware when you're in these areas, whether either you're going into town or you're out doing your running around or whatever, because I know in my area, which I can relate, last night I got to play Guess That Caliber again. And of course today I get to enjoy the live demonstration of a police airship circling my area. I mean, it's fun to know they're doing their job. I just wish they weren't doing it in my fucking backyard.
Mhm.
That being said, just pay attention to surroundings. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe. Keep your family and loved ones safe. And try to get out and do something outdoors and unplug if you're able this weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Might be something to reflect on. Try and enjoy it. Unplug from all this bullshit and kind of enjoy things for a change.
People, I'm going to interrupt for a second with it being Memorial Day weekend. People, this weekend, please, if you can, just take an hour and go to a graveyard and put some flags on some veterans' graves, because they're the reason we have this holiday, and that's the reason for this holiday. It's not a joyous occasion, but it's to remember those who made that sacrifice for us.
Yep, he's right. He's absolutely right.
It's still on you, T.
Oh, I said no, I was good.
Oh, all right.
So
So
like
I'm gonna go a little further. Those of you that know Bone Crusher and Reaper, any of you that have Bone Crusher's contact, please reach out to her. This is generally a kind of a bad, this time of year, this in Veterans Day is kind of touches home for her. So those of you that have her contact information, reach out to her, check on her. Anyway, yeah, y'all have a good weekend. It's a long weekend for some it's not, unfortunately. But yeah, spend time with your family. I say that every single live. That's the most important thing to me in my life is my family. That's why I do this. That's why I do a lot of things. If I didn't have family, I'd probably be, I don't know, in jail or somewhere doing something stupid, It does deter your train of thought most of the time, right? So anyway, y'all, like I said, y'all make sure y'all get out there, enjoy the weekend if you have a long weekend. If you don't, be safe if you are working. Other than that, that's about all I got. Y'all be safe. Thank y'all for coming by. Make sure y'all share the video, get it out there, spread the word. Saxman, Moose, and Absentee, as always, thank y'all for coming on here. Anybody else who wants to come on, it's always open. Always open for anybody. So we'll plan on seeing everybody Tuesday. Y'all have a good weekend, and thank y'all again. Peace out.
Night,
night,
y'all.
everybody.
Night.